اللهم صل على محمد وآل محمد اللهم صل على محمد وآل محمد اللهم صل على محمد وآل محمد وعجل فرجه.
أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. الحمد لله رب العالمين وصلى الله على محمد وآله الطاهرين. Respected viewers, Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi ta'ala wa barakatuh. Peace be upon you. First and foremost, we had some technical issues. Hopefully, the Sokodisi going forward. My name is Rifilwe Mlangeni. Welcome to Emthini, and Akitama Kilimong Kinali here, Murutorona Moholu, our very own Fiqh specialist, Maulana Ayatollah Allama Sheikh Murori Singh Hussein Inshinyade. Assalamu alaikum.
Wa alaikum assalam.
Rakupa ur unmuting.
Why are you overselling me now?
Something that relate. We must be over, inshallah.
No, I know. Apologies to the viewers for that. But alhamdulillah, we are here and we are continuing, inshallah.
Alhamdulillah, alhamdulillah. Today's topic, tricky, and be uncomfortable. Hijab. Ibile ito menopause of dilo tse ntse di etsa ko Iran. Rona, we're just going to talk about hijab. We're just going to talk about hijab from an Islamic perspective, not a political one. Kurfela, we felt we had to, have a voice, Lorona, inshallah. So, Maulana,
أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم وصلى الله على محمد وآله الطيبين الطاهرين. So اللهم صل على محمد وآل محمد رب اشرح لي صدري ويسر لي أمري واحلل عقدة من لساني يفقهوا قولي. So when it comes to this topic of hijab, it's, as the sister said, it's very uncomfortable, especially for me personally, and then for every other man as well. Not more so, it affects me twice. I was nicknamed more. It's before I got the name the Smiling Sheikh, so people didn't understand my humor at the time. So I was nicknamed the Ntwe Barking, the hijab PT on social media. Yeah, so it was very uncomfortable for a man to talk about hijab. It has become very uncomfortable for a man to discuss and talk about hijab on any platform, because once you start talking, there's the gang that tells you why does a man have to tell women how to wear? This just sounds like another episode of men telling women what to wear, because I don't know, there are 3 waves of feminism. Maybe now we're in the 4th one. I don't know. That's not my specialty. But yeah, it's particularly difficult for me to talk about this here. I have to mention that because when I was called Hijab. Yes, I used to say some pretty dumb, extreme things concerning hijab, but it was just to
Ekare re mo lahlile Maolane.
no, I'm back. I'm back. I keep so yeah, that's just no, now Luena, you throw me in the deep. You throw me in the deep and you want me to introduce this topic. It's a very difficult. Can you please do it for me tonight only, please? Well, anyway, just to introduce Your Honor, this discussion on hijab. In the past 2 years or so, I've watched Barking. Oops. I've watched several videos, TED Talks, discussions about hijab. One of them, I forgot the lady, she's not worth mentioning. But the most common misconception that we have about hijab is that the word hijab in the Quran does not come in the context of a woman's veil or a woman's covering. So that's one of the main misconceptions that is there in the Quran about the use of the word in the Quran. So, Lintwe, the word hijab, for example, it comes as a barrier in the context of the Quran. It's a barrier, something that prevents. It's all sorts of things. So that's the first misconception. Ailing thing, the most prevalent misconception that is there about hijab is that the word for hijab, this word hijab itself, in the Quran, it's not used in the context of a woman's covering. But yeah. And then the other misconception, inshallah, we'll deal with them as time goes. The other misconception is that hijab is instead, the wearing was only special for free women. So the slave women, they could um, not wear hijab. It was a way to distinguish free women and slave women and so on and so forth. Many misconceptions that are there. And then the one that the latest, the most famous one is that it's oppressive to women. That's that's the other one, inshallah. And I'd like you to answer that. Maybe you had a life before wearing hijab, and then what has hijab done for you? I'm sorry, I'm supposed to be answering the questions, but I'm asking this question now. What has hijab done for you?
Hey, I think ntho e re etsang yona kaofela ya re phamisa more than anything, you know. Keng seriti, you know, like when batho ba bang refer to us hijabis, they don't just call us loosely, you know. Even go like maybe tsamaya ko strateng, ko di-taxing, anyway, we are referred to as like mama or sisi, you know, instead of leya ntombazane, uyazwisisa. So yeah, it's tricky. Yeah, like iyawuphamisa, you know, cause le rona ebile a re itshware hantle. Yeah, it protects us ebile, you know, iyawuphamisa and it protects us. You fa seriti nna, I think, because wow, pre hoba le Muslim ke ntho e nngwe e different from now, you know. Alhamdulillah, Allah o re file thapo nyana wa bona. I think, yeah, that's the three. Alhamdulillah.
No, alhamdulillah,
Kopa
alhamdulillah. um,
inshallah,
no,
back in the
alhamdulillah,
day.
the journey to hijab. This is a common trend, very bonang, amongst ladies. That is, when it comes to hijab, that um, once they start wearing hijab, they are adorned with dignity. They are adorned with respect that they previously never enjoyed. They get all that, alhamdulillah. Yeah. Plus, no bad hair days, right? Bad joke. Bad joke. But yeah, that's a joke that somebody really recently made with me. It's like, yo, if I didn't wear hijab and I was walking around and people saw my hair, I'm like, hey, okay. Alhamdulillah.
Another bonus.
Yeah, yeah. A comment that brothers make about hijab is that the same way that women say a beard is a man's makeup, so is hijab a woman's makeup. Like every woman looks beautiful in hijab. That's what the brothers say. Alhamdulillah.
Definitely.
um, yeah. So, yeah, starting carrying on and being coming to the academic side of the discussion, yeah, hijab is that there's an article I wrote. When did I write this? Maybe 2015, around 2015. So in this article that I wrote about hijab, it was based off the two verses in the Holy Quran, chapter number 24, verse number 30 and 31. Alright. Um, the interesting thing, this is the interesting thing when people Sheikh Azhar Nasser said this in his Muharram lectures this year, I think the second or the third one. He says that the problem is that people want to take their ideologies, the ideologies that they have found, the ideologies that they have grown into, and then they want to make the Quran or Islam revolve around these ideologies. They don't want to take those ideologies or their new beliefs and indoctrination and make that revolve around Islam or the Quran. No, they instead make that the pivot which Islam must rotate around. So this is a big problem generally with any concept that there is, yeah, Islam. Um, Not only hijab, but with hijab, it's more out there, you know. For example, yeah, no, it's just men telling women how to wear. Whereas the verse of hijab, these verses, 24, chapter number 24 of the Holy Quran, verse number 30 to 31, they actually start by giving commands to men. You know, say to the believing men that they cast down their gaze and guard their private parts, that is purer for them, and surely Allah is aware of what they do. Or at least it's okay. So yes, it doesn't give a certain prescription of what men should wear in the Quran. However, those prescriptions exist in the ahadith and in the jurisprudence. They exist there. And then it comes to the ladies and say to the believing woman that they cast down their looks and guard their private part and do not display their ornaments except what is apparent thereof, and let them wear their head coverings over their bosoms, you know, and not display their ornaments except to their husbands, fathers, brothers, and so on and so forth. Refer to that verse, chapter number 24 of the Holy Quran, verse number 30 and 31. The interesting thing, which people overlook whenever we discuss hijab, is that the most important for I get it now. People want to say, yeah, but yeah, the other misconception is it still necessary in our age? I mean, we are past that age now. This one is actually a sub misconception from the one airing. It was meant only to distinguish between the free woman and the slave woman. So it comes from that. So, but no, it's not necessary today. the thing is, the verse, this is what people overlook. The verse starts by, for both men and women, it gives a higher hijab. It gives a higher modesty, a modesty of casting down your gaze, not looking. What this means is that don't look with lust, don't stare, don't look with thoughts in your mind, and then guard your private parts. So this is the most important part of hijab. Yes, this is the most important part of hijab. The other one is because of this. The other one, how we should wear, how we should dress, how we should carry ourselves in public, it's, I don't want to say secondary. It's this modesty, yes. So the modesty part of you being chaste, it's basically chastity and modesty. So the chastity part is more important than just the modesty part. It precedes it. It comes before it. Before we go to the modesty, we should actually have the chastity. That we don't look at, as a man, you don't look at women with lust and desire and lewdness, and protect the private parts. As a woman, also, before you go to not to dressing in a certain way, before you go to not displaying yourself to certain people, um, first have the chastity before you have the modesty. This is the most um, important thing that people overlook. I don't know, nobody was something.
Yeah, this shows Hori, it's bigger than that. And I think right, I think we know Hori. It's because we've reduced it to, lesela. And it's
Mm.
into e nngwe e kgolo,
Mm.
we noticed Hori some verses or some narrations nkare di riddle nyana ne dilo tse important what we notice mo Quraneng di tla di le very clear, this one is clear gore it's bigger than ntho e rona re entseng gore e be yona, like ra e nyenyefatsa, like ocho gore it's chastity before modesty, and this doesn't apply
Oh, you're gonna
to
quote me on that,
basadi
aren't you?
fela. Inshallah. Ke tla tswela pele.
So yeah, and it's in Surat Al Imran, verse number. It's on. Okay, let me check. Is it who alladhi? Yes, verse number 7. One, he's the one who has revealed the book upon you. Some verses of it are clear. They are the muhkamat, and some of them are. These ones are Kitab. They are the mother of the book, and some of them are mutashabihat. They are allegorical. They are unclear. But those who have some sickness in their hearts, they follow what is unclear from the Quran. Yes, that's chapter number 3 of the whole Quran, verse number 7. So yeah, some verses are clear. That why we have to note that it's more chastity before modesty is because there's this hadith always scares me. Reference. I really need to find a reference of this and post it everywhere. Of our holy prophet, the prophet Jesus Christ, Nabiullah Isa ala nabina wa alihi wa alayhi salam. He says that, so this hadith gives me goosebumps every time I read it. Then every time I tell it to somebody. He says, Inna Musa kana ya'murukum an la tanzuru ila nisa. He says that Moses used to order you or forbid you from looking at women. But I order you not to look at the clothes of women. Mind blowing, yeah? Nabi Isa, that's what he says. So there are levels to this thing. So what this is, it's chastity before modesty. So before I tell, this is why and this is a valid argument. It's just that it's presented wrong. Yeah, before you tell girls how to wear, tell your boys how to behave. Yes, that's what the Quran does. It tells men not to look at women in a um, lustful way. It starts with that, in fact, and then to protect their private parts and so on and so forth. So, um, Jesus Christ, Nabiullah Isa, Arin, Moses used to order you not to look at women. I'm ordering not to look at the clothes of women. You see. So, yeah, that's, I think that suffices as an introduction about hijab. Are there many, perhaps any questions that you have to guide the discussion? Because I'll go on and on.
You can go on. Very interesting. An order from another man. Wa re tseba rona. Yeah, inshallah, we know hore Subhanallah. Yeah, this is a religious perspective again. So, ha re tloga ko religion, you know, re na le nkane, ke ra e tseba nafsi jwang, re na le nkane. So, after se re acceptile gore it's a religious thing, it's religious advice, re ya ko gore ke ntho ya batho ba bang, you know. A re own. I think problem e re na leng yona rona, a ke tsebe ke re rona botaki or okay, rona botaki a re na identity ka mara Islam, so that's why ha motho a ikaparetse tuku e ba auso le wa lekula or auso le wa Indian, you know. So
Yeah.
re
Say
nkile ra
Indian, that
etsa
other word
those
is
people all have a culture.
take it back. The other word that you used is derogatory. Use Indian or you kill Indian. Lily Lily is derogatory. You don't use it
Yeah, I
again.
understand and I apologize. It came out very wrong. I was just quoting how we are addressed, not, you know, it wasn't meant to be an insult. I apologize. So, you know, arena identity ka mo re entse ya ba culture ya batho ba bang. That's why go le easy lo re sky observer hijab, you know, because in simple terms, na re hijab ke maitshwaro. In simple terms, ke maitshwaro, and maitshwaro are not subject to a specific gender or a specific people. It's for everyone, you know. So
Yeah, you know when you put it like that, it's interesting because Lina, the way I would behave when I'm dressed in my turban, my jubba, my abaya is different from how I will act when I'm in my t-shirt, tracksuits, or jeans and stuff. It's different. So basically, hijab is more about my twaro. You're right. It's a way to guide my twaro aru. Now I don't know. I'm asking you the question now. This brings a certain idea in my mind now. Ya gore, perhaps vele hijab. Ish, how do I put this? But it's one brother. Yes, let me start with that. One brother says that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala gives the laws that are most difficult to people. One. So, for example, if you tell men that they should always be covered up, in the modern age, it won't be difficult because, I mean, you find masculine wearing baggy jeans and hoodies in summer, which are men, most of them, and they don't have a problem with that. They don't mind. So Allah put this law more on women. That's what he said. So I'm asking you the question now. Is it do you think or do you think this law, yeah, hijab, is placed more on women because without it, vele baitwara in a certain way that is not appropriate. I can't find a better word.
Hi, Mara, ya utlwala, ya utlwala. I think I could say beginning or first physically, it's a sense, you know, first physically, it's a sense, and then it's only like come on true how really it's tricky topic e ha o na le keng batla ka mo ntlong la go na le monyako fela ha o tshwane wa bona ha o tshwane so this thing a se for rona a re tse sona e re ke tse example ka mental health ne men di-statistics ke tsona tse tshong jwalo ne men they suffer or go feta rona mental health wise you know because rona go simple or ha o tswa ka mo ntlong le mosadi like wa tswa re free too much wa bona ha o tswa mo o hlakana le mme o mong ko taxing or another person o tlotla le yena so thululile so yehlile ya bona mentally so calm ya bona whereas for a man uyayibamba like uyagodla uyabona so I think who appropriate hore but it's not but it seems like e addresswe ko basadi go feta abanna and it's not like that but then I think it's appropriate that it's like that hobane rona re free too much understand like re ra phuthuloga in most cases and monna o tlo phuthuloga ko wena ha wena o phuthulogile I never fitlhe fela like a o phaphele o khile di-gate you understand like oya ka direction now so this thing it helps like if go na le patla ka mo ko ntlong go khiwe or if go na le mnyako o ken wa kokota pele wa utlwisisa ga o sena mnyako o ikenela fela wa bona o ba free jwalo so ha o na le mnyako go ba ke boundary nya a ke tsebe if ke etsa sense you know go ba le boundary nyana rona
Yeah, but I know I
okay
threw you under the bus. Forgive me. But yeah, to answer your question here, there's to answer it's just that you just raised something in my mind, so I just had to ask it. But to answer the before that, hijab is cultural. The thing is, and this is an advice that I would give to everyone, not only women, but also to the Muslim men or anyone, in fact. Unfortunately, the fact is, when you listen to too many outside voices, there's a comment here that needs to be answered, inshallah. We'll deal with it. When you we acknowledge it. When you listen too much to external, to who don't follow the path that you follow, what they say, it's an and then it affects you. So perhaps that's why we hear it too much. You took other people's cultures, you took other people's way of life, so maybe it affects the mentality of some people. And then it makes it easy for them to, as you said, neglect hijab because they feel like, yeah, who knows, because they haven't done the research, so they're like, yeah, who knows, maybe hijab vele kiama Indian, kiama Arab, kiama mang asiaruna as Africans, asiaruna as South Africans. So then it makes it maybe, yeah. because this is one of the reasons why I'm trying to come up with an explanation here. That's why this is why in Islam it's very important to give your child a good name, so that when you call them by that name, it knocks into their mind, and then it becomes part of their identity. So perhaps hearing this thing no culture but too much actually affects especially us as black people, and our observation of hijab. Perhaps that was a good point. Um, but this verse, now to deal with this, to prove that it's actually religious and not culturally, maybe this, yeah, we'll publish this. I'll post this on my Facebook page again. I'm not confident to post it, but I will. This old article. But one of the things, mosquito gets on. What we need to know about this verse of the Holy Quran are three things, and that we need to point. Now, number one, we have to know the reason for revelation. Why was this verse revealed? That's number one. This is now coming to the text. Number two, we have to look at the context or the situation at the time of revelation. That's number two. And then number three, we have to look at Italy certain jurisprudential obligations. This verse, I guess. So these are the three things that we have to look at. Firstly, the reason for revelation, and this is why. Listen to the story, and then you'll know why the verse itomakau atresaban. It is said that this guy was walking around Medina, and then he saw. She's already laughing. She knows the story. So he saw a very lovely lady. So as he was walking, he turned and he was walking, and he kept his eyes on her. He walked and walked and turned with her until he hit a wall, and then was bleeding from his forehead. Ran to the mosque. Oh, Rasulullah, I have done such and such. So please ask Allah to forgive me. Then the verse was revealed. This is why don't do this, man. Don't look to that extent. Or at least that is the rule, the reason for revelation of the verse. Or at least, yeah, some will still look at it as a misogynist, chauvinist reason for revelation, but we mentioned Khore, in terms of getting norms. In terms of norms, men never struggle with dressing up. Like when let's compare, when a man and a woman go for a job interview, who is most likely to wear 5 pieces of clothes? A vest, a shirt, a waistcoat, and a jacket. But when a man will dress like that, and a tie to make it all work, the breathing will now be difficult. Then also tight formal pants, socks, and uncomfortable formal shoes. It's easy for men to do that, or at least when they want to present themselves in public. Even when a man goes to work, a bricklayer, for example, hot as it may be, he'll still wear a long sleeve overall and long pants to go with that, and very hot working boots and head protection with no problem. Like this is, it's not my. We have the thing is we have to emphasize, men and women, yes, are equal, but they are not the same. As the South African coat of arms says, we are different, but we are equal. Yes, this is. So the instruction comes to women to address their nature. It comes to the woman to address their nature. When a woman goes to a job interview, what will she wear? Just one dress. That's one clothing item. Let's not talk about the undergarments. Just one clothing garment, maybe not even anything on her head, and a nice pair of high-heeled shoes. Khalas, intaha. But when a guy wants to present himself formally in a job interview, vest, shirt, waistcoat, jacket, tie. I don't know if we should count the pocket square and the lapel flower. But men don't have a problem with dressing up. You see, like wearing layered clothing, you know. So it's not a misogynist or chauvinist reason for it. That's number one. Number two is the situation at the time of revelation, because some, after they say, okay, yeah, sharp, well, the revelation came in, yeah, but it's not necessary in, yeah, but, oh, yeah, this misconception, yeah, but the verse only says that they must, it only speaks about the headgear, khumr, or at least no, only the headwear. It says, okay, sharp, yes, it only speaks about the headwear, what they should wear. But what does it say about that? It says they must take what they wear on their head and cover their bosoms with it. Or at least so at the time of revelation, it was very common for ladies to wear dresses, banse, the C word, CLEAVH. When they would wear something that opens here, and then they would wear what we call a bun or whatever, and then it's with the neck and this area exposed. Oh, I get this is the bosom, this area. So, oh, it's not me. She said it. So that's how they used to dress, and then it opened. So they'd have this area open. So the verse here, take what you wear on your head and then cover with it your bosoms. Or at least that's what the verse says. And then thirdly, now it's like the jurisprudential part. It's a very long discussion. We can have this another time. The jurisprudential, okay, can a woman wear earrings? Okay, if she wears them, can she show them? Okay, can a woman wear a ring? Can she wear a watch? Can she wear a bracelet? All those other questions. We can discuss that another time. I should actually start a fiqh class and teach, because I could really give fiqh especially, and teach one lady, teach her so much that she ends up knowing more than me about the fiqh of women, and then I won't be tormented to speak about women issues ever. The stigma is too heavy to carry. Yeah. So, but these points, I hope, sister, you see, by these points, hijab is not cultural. It's actually religious. We have to wear it. About the second point, actually, Jabon questionnaire. About the second point, there's another verse in the Holy Quran, chapter number 33, Surah Al-Ahzab, chapter number 33, Surah Al-Ahzab, verse number 59. So 56 is Inna Allah wa malaikatahu yusalluna ala nabi ya ayyuhalladhina amanu sallu alayhi wa sallimu taslima. That's 56. 3 verses later. Oh, you prophet, قل يا أيها النبي قل لأزواجك وبناتك ونساء المؤمنين يدنين عليهن من جلابيبهن. I get some people now come with the misconception, or no, it speaks only about the headgear. In this verse, the Quran tells the Holy Prophet, chapter number 33, verse number 59, tell your wives, your daughters, and the women from the believing women that they should draw down their jalabib. So jilbab is a long shirt, loosely translated. Jilbab is what Arab women used to wear, or what women used to wear. It's just one piece, all the way to the ankles. So what do you have to say then? I don't know. The Quran the headgear. That's a jilbab. Jilbab is an outfit that among either from your head or all the way from your neck, all the way down. So if you want to be very literal, it means women should not wear jeans, women should not wear pants, should not even wear skirts. They should just always wear dresses. So at least let's not go into that discussion. But just to clear this misconception, it only talks about serwalwang, what is worn on the head. Yeah, it's not. It's about jilbab covers the whole body. It's a long shirt, basically kurta, tishtash. Why do I know so much about this topic?
Important. Keep discussion every day, which we Islam in King. What's the word? Patriarchal. So and le rona ntho ka di-actions tsa rona ra se support-a statement seo because bona it seems like men know a lot about it more than rona ailing apparently hijab for rona, because yabonala, so it should be easy for us to defend it, or we should have a lot to say about it go feta gender ya lona wa bona. And then before re tswela pele inshallah aus khadi mo wa alaikum salam aus khadi a ke tsebe if o arabile o e bone question ya hae are another misconception is physical hijab is compulsory only for women. Male hijab is never discussed. So re kopa ke ebile alhamdulillah technology ban male hijab is never discussed.
So this is to answer this is that, as I mentioned in this verses, it has those three elements, those three levels in which it deals with the concept. We have to look at the reason for revelation. We have to look at the situation at the time of the revelation, and then the jurisprudence. So when you look at the reason for revelation, if we mention like the reason for revelation, and then also the time of the revelation. This is why I was going on about country that men generally don't have a problem with dressing up, wearing a lot of clothes. Men generally do not have that problem. They don't have a problem with wearing a lot of clothes. Yeah. This is, and then addressa basadi, because as this is why I also asked that question. Do you think that this verse ibual basadi more because not ibual basadi fela, ibual basadi more because of how naturally women are? And you made the example and how women are free and stuff like that, and all of that. But if we go to the third level of this verse, the jurisprudence, that's where we come to learn how men should dress themselves, or should always be dressing. And it's very important. I know more social media, especially in the northern hemisphere, I know winter, so Agriba marking sweatpants season, and then some lewd people were celebrate. But hey, it's sweatpants season now. Ish, it's gonna be nice. You're gonna print stuff and stuff like that. What this is, it become then men now need also to be told, Hore, when you wear something, it should cover your private part, and it rightfully so, it should be discussed. It should cover your private part, should not show the size of your private part, should not show the shape of the private part, it should show the color of your private part. Right? So these are things that are necessary also to be discussed. And Kirin, in are we doing justice, Maravel? Okay, now that we have this platform, dear brothers, please, when you wear anything, it should cover your private parts, not show the size, not show the shape, not show the color. That's it. All right.
I think that's it. The hope. Hope are king the reflector fell. A ho. It's not a
Yeah, you know,
at all.
that's why I was saying that generally, like Kukole's example. In the 70s, I heard this from a friend of mine. He heard it from his father, who was alive in the 70s as a young man. His father told him, Hore, in the 70s, an adult male, it would be a shame for an adult male to wear shorts. So when an adult male wears shorts, he'd basically be taken as a boy, or it would be a clear sign that he's unemployed. What this is in the 70s. This is what he told me. I don't know the extent of how true that is, but generally, this is why I said that generally we can't say that men easily deal with this thing. Trend ya the short pen amongst adults. It's a very recent thing, and it's always a spectacle. Like people will always look at a man who's wearing shorts in public, like, yeah, but this guy, very short pen, alimkhuluso, or this is. So yeah, but yeah, the vest, yeah, the kopo and stuff like that. It though it's happening, Mara, every time it happens, people are like, Mara, this guy. This guy, nobody easily accepts it or just goes with it. It's always looked down upon or always getting shunned in a way. So yeah.
Ha go gotle. A so go itshwara gantle go I kry ba re re advertise ha re tliwa boqwebe beautiful necks. A go gotle go advertise kaofela you know it's not pretty. A go gotle. I hope and taba ya hore is it necessary in the modern age? Ha re sheba going back, people were dressed back then. Ha ntse go ya ntse re ntse re tlhobola. So taba ya is it necessary in the modern age? Is it not backward? O ka re arabela yona jwang? Like how would okay no just ink kopa o ink.
So in the modern age, okay, it's gonna sound biased because I'm Muslim, but the thing is, even though I'm Muslim, I have a nafs. So Alhamdulillah, my Instagram algorithm is hacked. I only see books, scholars, football, and whatnot. I don't see the other stuff that people see. Alhamdulillah. I did not use that word. She did. This one. But that's the word that the Arabic uses. Very basically. Yeah. they're ornaments as translated in English. So this thing, my bias as a Muslim will say that yes, obviously hijab is very important in the modern age. It's not backwards. It's more necessary now than ever because everyone now has Instagram and for the likes and the vanity, everyone will like to would willingly expose their privacy and their private parts and their body for the likes and the vanity. OnlyFans is not making it easy, Leona. So in this age, my bias as a Muslim, of course, it's absolutely necessary. Maybe it's even more necessary now than it was 100 years ago, or even before that, where women would always be go high, women would always be dressed, or at least now it's more difficult. Of course, my nurse says something else, but alhamdulillah, my Instagram logarithm is hacked. It only shows me books, scholars, and football and sports. But yes, in the modern age, it's very necessary, as I say, because of this vanity that people have, and you see I'm putting on a serious face, that everyone has social media now. Everyone can just take a selfie, post it on social media, and everyone, wow, wow, you look amazing. Wow, you're so gorgeous. And, it gives people that validation that, ooh, yeah, you know what? I look nice today. It's one of the philosophies of hijab that we learn is that wants to the aim of hijab is that a woman should not only be seen as an object, a beautiful object, a sexual object, a beautiful creature, but they must be given a chance that they be treated as a human, an equal, academically, mentally, intellectually. What this is. So in the age that we live in, it's like we have backtracked now. It's like we have backtracked now, whereby uh, some women get famous by posting certain provocative pictures and then get a few likes and then create a Facebook page. And then all of a sudden, they see themselves as worthy of sharing. Oh, yeah, influencer. Now they can come back and say and use certain words and have an opinion more than that guy who tired himself, went to study several years in the university, got a degree, got an honors, got a master's, got a doctor, got a doctorate. Because Yena, she has more fans, her voice is louder than him, even though as the saying goes, Emthini make the loudest voice. So yes, hijab in this age, very important. But should we enforce it on everybody? Nah. Should we enforce it on everybody? No, now we must force everyone with a gun. No, house hijab, you get a fine. House so you should get a fine. Nah. The thing is, when you force people to do things, and they do things versus fear, then they revolt. They even use their disdain for that, their resentment for that thing to burn down a whole nation. Yeah. Did I answer that? You answered. I hope it's answered. I hope my
Yeah,
very long
you did.
explanation.
Nah, you did. Well, it shouldn't be forced on anyone. I mean, even Allah doesn't force us to do things. I can watch ka mantswe a ya matle hore ha hona compulsion more religion. So no human should compel another to do anything. Wa bona? Um, 2 cents felanyana e nngwe ka botle ba hijab. as hijabis, we are always dressed the part, you know. We are ko lifung, we are ko partying, king. We are go lenyalong, we are anywhere, you're always dressed the part, you know. If usayikwala ungazimbozanga, you work extra hard to fit for any occasion, you know. Nkadime eng ke apare, is it you know, king o bona ka leaf ke tlo etsa ka lona cause ke lona le afwan ke lona le re ka se etse ka party lefu. When you go lifung, you must be dressed a certain way, like how lo tlhaga ko lifung, you should be dressed a certain way as a sign of respect, you know. As a hijabi, you don't need to go and look for anything, only go strateng, you just we take a wire only more, you know. You don't need to prepare yourself, you know. So another bonus ke yona eo, alhamdulillah. Modesty and hijab, dressing appropriate, is a sign of, definitely it is a sign of civilization and knowledge. Lona la rumulana maulana mo o itse distinguishes between the freed and the enslaved, and then ke gape ya tlatseletsa mo. Alhamdulillah, alhamdulillah, that is the purest of truth. Inshallah, Maulana, imnati topic haholo. Re tla e feleletsa ko di-comment-eng, inshallah, re kopa.
Inshallah. Hey, I'm not to be here, but yeah, that's the thing. That. By the way, don't take that. It's a misconception that hijab may separate free women from slave women. That's not true. Everyone should wear women, but of course, because women are enslaved and whatnot, there's some things that apply to them and don't apply to them. That's something else. But that was never the case. That was never the case. It's just a misconception that people come with today. So, for example, Ari, no, but hijab was only distinguished between slave and free women. Okay, today you are a free woman. So slavery has been abolished everywhere. Now not slavery anymore. So how should we wear now? It's a easy argument to me. But there's a verse that I'm looking for because you mentioned something. I think it's yes, in the Bible. In the Bible, the verse setting it's in Corinthians, so I'm just not sure whether it's 1 Corinthians or 2 Corinthians. However, let me see. Chapter 16. But Leona, the word that it uses Zulu is that ugumboza. You see, that's something. It's different from ugutwala. I remember my teacher in high school, Mr. Mlangin, coincidentally, Mr. Mlangin, told me the difference. He says that no, in Zulu, there's a difference between uktwala and ugumboza. Uktwala is just to wear something on your head, whereas ugumboza means to cover your whole body. So that was it's somewhere in Corinthians. Those who are more familiar with the Bible, please help us out here. Corinthians 11.
I think it's 4.
Hmm?
4:11. Ke yone re fiwang dawa ka yone. A ke sa etse phoso.
Oh, So it's 1 Corinthians chapter 4 verse 11.
Yeah, ha ke sa etse phoso, I think ke yona. Re tla e Google, inshallah.
Everyone. Yeah.
And Hanso we share more. I think taba ya being freed and being enslaved, it's a tsamaisana le covenant ya Maulana mo ya King is a sign of civilization and knowledge. And knowledge. Yeah. I think being enslaved is tsamaisana le ignorance, and then being free is tsamaisana le knowledge, you know, not the way re nkang ka teng literally, cause then iba bias like that.
Emancipate yourself from mental slavery. So the slavery is no more physical now, it's mental, as Bob Marley said.
Ya tholagala.
Hey man. It's somewhere in Corinthians. I really don't know. Somebody will post it in the comments, inshallah. But it's in Corinthians, somewhere in Corinthians. I really don't remember when.
Maulana before o re kwala ka thapelo, kopa o hopotsa the viewers hore first things first, kopa o leboha today interaction. It's very ya futhumatsa, e mafatsa pelo, ra leboha, alhamdulillah. And don't forget hore you can suggest any topic that you want to be discussed more Emthini, inshallah. Maulana agar kwala.
Just before Rituala, just this closing remark. It must be a quote, inshallah. Must be a quote, this closing remark. This because it clearly deals it clearly deals with the many misconceptions that are there about hijab. So irge post mo itlage mo screening, inshallah. Hijab is chastity plus modesty. Chastity first plus modesty. There's no use in it's hot now. That's a fact. But then the things that you do in your private times are not so noble and not so chaste. There's absolutely no point in that. The dua اطلب على كايونا بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم اللهم صل على محمد وآل محمد اللهم كل وليك الحجة بن الحسن صلواتك عليه وعلى آبائه في هذه الساعة وفي كل ساعة وليا وحافظا وقائدا وناصرا ودليلا وعينا حتى تسكنه أرضك طوعا وتمتعهم فيها طويلا ومن علينا برضاه وهب لنا رأفته ورحمته ودعاءه وخيره واجعلنا من أنصاره وأعوانه والمستشهدين بين يديه اللهم صل على محمد وآل محمد وعجل فرجهم واهلك عدوهم ولا تحرمنا شفاعتهم.
That is it from us, Emthini, where we take from the tree, learn from the tree, and develop from the tree. Inshallah. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi ta'ala wa barakatuh.
اللهم صل على محمد وآل محمد اللهم صل على محمد وآل محمد اللهم صل على محمد وآل محمد وعجل فرجه